Welcome to the Mesquite Garden Podcast, where your hosts, Porsha and Marissa, bridge the gap between Western healthcare and holistic health. A quick disclaimer, please note that this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. The content shared here is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition and should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Now let's get into it. All right, so today's episode is all about immunity here as we're in the month of January, and it is very important to get your immunity up, and let's do it naturally. So just a little bit of statistic for you guys. As of January 2025, respiratory illnesses are prevalent in California and across the United States. We know this. So of course, enhancing your immune system is going to help. So we know that the flu is increasing nationwide. California is reporting very, very high flu-like illnesses.
Yes.
The numbers of people who contract the flu is astronomical. The numbers of people who die from the flu has always been high. Of course, there's COVID-19. It's still going around. Obviously, people are acting like it never existed. Do what you will with that information.
Right.
So RSV activity typically peaks during the winter months, and it does affect both children and older adults, but it's more commonly seen. I mean, I remember it
With
more in children.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They get it really bad. They have bronchial stuff that goes on, and so they're more prone to all of the respiratory viruses.
Right. Gosh, I remember when I was at a community working in L&D, we had a baby that was, only like 2 days old, and the dad kissed the baby, and baby was like reaching, to nurse, and the baby basically started to suckle on the dad's nose.
Oh.
No, the dad, young, whatever, didn't think anything of it, no big deal. They came back before that baby was a month old and ended up in the NICU because the baby ended up contracting RSV from the dad. And that was like such a scary case. I remember going and visiting the baby in the NICU, but I was like, oh my gosh. And, everybody was so upset. Like, who just lets their baby suck on their nose? And it's like, it's not.
It's not the end of the world, but it can have all of those germs that the baby has never been exposed to.
Right. Yeah. So just keep that in mind with your kids. You guys don't let people kiss them. There's no reason for that, just especially during flu season. Keep your hands clean. The norovirus, again, is highly contagious and it causes gastrointestinal illness. And there are increased cases in the winter. Again, you're overindulging, as we explained in one of our last episodes. You're automatically, your immune system it goes down because you're full of toxins that you haven't detoxed out. So basically, go through and detox and then get yourself ready to build that immune system. And we're going to, of course, give you guys the natural ways to do that using holistic remedies and, of course, herbs. But, of course, as always, we like to start with food as medicine. So bringing up nutrition, incorporating immune boosting foods like citrus foods, which is also in season right now. Garlic, fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi. These are going to provide those essential vitamins to keep yourself and your immune system good and healthy. Hydration, as always. If you are drinking plenty of water, your blood system is flushing, you're getting all of those toxins removed. Versus if you're not drinking water, then everything backs up like LA traffic. So keep your hydration up. And if you don't like water, add some herbs to it. Make it taste good. Add some fruit to it. Make it taste good.
Add some cinnamon.
Yeah.
It'll boost your immune system, and it helps with your metabolism.
Beautiful. Yeah. Cinnamon is great. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon's amazing for sure. And even that, as far as boosting your immune system, sleep. We need to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
We have to allow our bodies to charge. When I'm talking to my son, who's 6, and I'm like, you got to go to sleep. And he hates sleeping. He's like, I hate sleeping. It's the worst part of my day. And I'm just like, you have to charge the same way you're plugging in your iPad or I'm plugging in my phone. We have to charge. And by us charging is deplugging, is sleeping, is allowing our body to rest so our body can function on removing these toxins and healing all of these things that are happening. So make sure you're sleeping 6 to 8 hours a day. I say 6 because I'm a woman and I think that we can function on 6. Sometimes when I'm getting into that 8 to 10 mark, 10 hours way too much for me. Even when I get to that 8-hour mark, I start waking up with like headaches or my back hurts. So, and I always wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. If I go to sleep by like normal time, like 8, 9, I'm first waking up at like 4:30. And
But
then
that's the best time to wake up before the rest of the world wakes up, so that you can meditate and just have that conversation with yourself and check in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even today, I was up. I was like, let me make some chickpea ceviche. Let me make some gluten-free vegan chocolate chip cookies. Let me print out some of our content. Like,
Yeah,
I was ready. I got ready. I was like, great. And so I
good.
feel good. But if I would have slept in a little bit better, I would be groggy and it would affect me. So knowing your sleep cycle and knowing what
Yes.
is just enough is truly individualized. So do some research to keep a dream journal so you know how you feel the next day.
Yes.
Yeah. And then regular activity, which we were talking about in our
Yes.
last episode,
Yes.
being very, very important. Keeping that blood flow moving, keeping those lungs healthy. All of that is going to help with your immunity for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Staying active.
What did you do? You were just, not to put you on blast,
I
but
know.
you were just,
I
Marissa was just under the weather
I did.
and
Mom and I got the flu. I I went to work. My immune system was down. Someone had the flu, was coughing, um,
you just
not
died.
wearing a mask in the nursing station. I didn't know. That's the one place that I allow myself to drink a cup of tea or take my mask off when I'm at work. And I did, and I got the flu.
Yeah.
Ugh, I immediately went to fast. I cut out solid food for 4.5 days, just liquids, and replenished with, the thyme, the lemon, the eucalyptus, all of the good things that we need to heal. Soursop.
Ugh,
Uh,
yeah. Love soursop.
yeah. I made it pretty. I like the butterfly pea, how it colors the water naturally, and it turns it a beautiful shade of blue or green. Just psychologically, it made me feel like I was doing something really amazing for my body. Lemongrass, lots and lots of ginger, lots and lots of garlic, thyme, peppermint, and then I put cinnamon and clove and um, it's it's a mixture that I use called Thieves, and I applied that to my chest and right behind my ears at the lymphs, and I did that, and it worked.
Yeah.
It just started working. Everything flushed out of my system. I could reset. In a week, I lost 12 pounds.
Okay, there's your detox.
There's my detox, girl.
Not
I was
fasting.
like, I was like, yes, let's leave it off.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
and
walk
perfect.
into.
This is perfect timing to, it is. It's
Yes.
like, let's get it going, and now you're there, so you have a jump start.
I am so elated by it.
Yeah,
At first I was like, oh, man, to start the year like this, actually, it was a blessing
yeah,
because I got still and I got quiet and I listened to my body and what my body needed.
yeah.
I took the time I needed to sleep, to meditate, to pray, and to listen.
Yeah, like you were saying, reflect, which is important because people seem to forget that one of the contributing factor is stress.
Yes.
And so when we are stressed, our risk of contracting something is higher. So when you're ill, when you're working on healing, when you're trying to get back in alignment with your body, you must reflect on basically what even caused this part, because how do you make the changes for the future? And when it comes down to, like you were saying, listening, you're listening to your body, but also reflecting on what, like you said, you knew that it was the nurse's station. You don't normally take off your mask, and you did this, and
Yes.
because they were maybe not as responsible or they didn't know yet or whatever,
Right.
this is just the way it goes, and that's
Right.
how things and how we get sick.
How
But
we
we
get
do build the
exposed.
immunities from that
Right.
as long as we're actively helping our bodies heal from it. You
Yeah.
mentioned so many of our herbal allies
Yes.
that we would be using.
Yes.
One of the things I didn't hear you mention was elderberry.
I did use elderberry.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, yes, I did.
Okay.
It was one of the teas that I compiled had elderberry in it.
Yeah.
Elderberry and lemongrass and eucalyptus.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So elderberry
It's a remedy
is,
balm.
yeah, elderberry is our go-to. We give our son, we take elderberry every day in a tincture. It is amazing. And when we are feeling even the slightest bit of sick, we start with our elderberry infusions. And the difference between a tea and an infusion, you guys, is how much plant matter, what the dosage is that you are basically making. So a tea is going to be your half a teaspoon or your teaspoon, whatever it is that you guys normally do in your tea bags. However, when you're doing an infusion, you want to add a significant amount more to make it a stronger medicinal
Right.
concoction. So the elderberry, again, it's known for its antiviral properties. It's known to help against the influenza virus, and it also helps enhance your immune system. Studies do show that elderberry lessens your symptoms that you're having, as well as the length of while healing. It
Right.
shortens the duration that you're ill.
The longer you steep it, the more potent it is as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Because a lot of times people are like, I don't want it too strong, then don't steep it as long. But if I
Mhm.
want the full Monty of it, I want it to sit in that liquid as long as possible so that
Yeah.
I get the full benefits of it. I'll
Yeah.
even heat it back up because I want to drink it hot. I avoid a lot of cold things when I'm not feeling well.
In addition to elderberry, one of the things I normally use with it in pairing is echinacea, and it is used to support the immune system during your cold and flu seasons.
Yes.
I recommend that you actually drink that and incorporate that into your normal routine. Having elderberry and echinacea tea is just like a preventative measure. You're giving
Yes.
your body those extra immune boosting soldiers
Yes.
to help your white
Yes.
cells. So those are two great herbal allies to use. And again, citrus foods, which again is going through season during the winter, those are the things you can find that are ready to help you. They have high vitamin C, and that enhances the production of your white blood cells. And it is vital for fighting infections.
Right.
And at the same time, you guys, anytime you're eating anything with high iron, spinach, those types of things, you want to eat your leafy greens and your spinach with some citrus, either right before or right after, and that will help you absorb the nutrients like iron. So those things are growing together and they're the same time for a reason, so you should eat them together. Like you said, garlic, we're going to keep going on that, fermented
Yes.
foods. So those are some additional foods that will help. Soups are always going to help.
Yes.
Anything that your body doesn't have to work so hard to
Right.
digest
Right.
is going to be beneficial. Eat light. Think about where you want the energy that your body is exerting
Right.
to focus on. And while you're sick, it should be focusing on making you better, not digesting food. And that's like why you fasted.
Yes.
No energy needs to go to digesting
No.
food.
I just wanted to heal.
Yes, yes. So those are some excellent, excellent foods and herbal teas to incorporate. And then some other supportive practices is oil pulling. How about you? Have you done oil pulling?
I did do it. I didn't do it with this round of the flu, but I've taken some of the coconut oil and put a little bit on a spoon and then put that in my mouth and swish it around and do that for at least 10 minutes to pull all of those toxins and everything off your tongue, from between your teeth, all in your oral cavity area.
It's believed to remove that harmful bacteria in your mouth, and it decreases the risk of
You
infections.
feel the difference.
Yeah, I like when you rub your tongue across.
Yes, it's like you can totally feel moisturized
Love that.
and fresh and clean. The thing is, don't swallow.
Right.
You have to have something to spit it into. Don't put it down your drain because it's going to clog, right?
Right.
So, have paper towel handy.
Throw it in a cup in the trash. Paper, yeah.
Exactly.
And so you can use coconut oil, or I've even read sesame oil is a good oil to do it with.
I think sesame, for me, would be a little strong because it has that distinct taste.
Yeah.
Whereas with the coconut oil, it wasn't strong to me. It was it was pleasurable.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm going to definitely be trying that.
Try it.
I definitely want you guys to know help tremendously is tongue scraping. If you do not own a tongue scraper, go get yourself one. You can get them on Amazon for $4. Scrape your tongue. Your tongue collecting all the bacteria and all of that stuff on its mouth is preventing your natural immunities from combating any foreign cells or viruses or anything that's coming into your body from getting attacked, from your body realizing, hey, this is a foreign intruder and I need to attack. So when you're tongue brushing every morning and every night, especially before you go to bed, you are allowing your mouth and everything to be basically ready, ready to start fighting, to start healing. And so tongue scraping I'm just so in awe that it's not as well known and practiced as it should be, but it is, and it's an easy thing to do. And once you guys get started, you'll see how much comes off and you're like, what is happening?
Yes.
And you do have to be careful because if you do it too much or too hard, you can start to bleed. You can damage some of those taste buds. But anyways, so yes,
Just be careful.
look into a tongue scraper. I mean, honestly, I would say do that before oil pulling. I mean, if you have oil, I get it. But if you don't, this isn't very highly recommend. Go on Amazon, find it in a store. I use the copper. They have plastic and other metals. Whatever you're doing, I would highly advise against a plastic one. Making sure that you have like a stainless steel or a copper is best because again, you are putting this in your mouth and you don't want something that is going to hold on to bacteria. So, but yeah, other than that, you guys, I really hope that you guys pick some stuff up, got some herbs that you don't know about yet, some foods, and or even just the tongue scraper from this episode to help with your immunity. Because again, the goal is to stay healthy all through holistic measures.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yes, you guys, let us know in the comments if you guys yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys have any questions. I got some good immunity boosting herbs like holy basil. We have elderberry. We have several that we mentioned on the website at mesquitegarden.com in our shop. But you guys can use code LOVE10 for 10% off. And we do appreciate your support. And so yeah, till next time.
Till next time. See you then.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and follow us on your favorite platforms at Mesquite Garden.